All right, so it says we're going live here. Let's find out if that's the case. So as always, there's always a delay here. There we go. It says we're live. Woohoo! All right, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. It is now 7:59ish, 8 o'clock ish, whatever. And so we have another into the week. Even though it's kind of a long weekend, so that's always awesome. So first off, I want to say hello, everybody. Thank you for joining tonight. Hopefully, we can or I can do some entertaining here, which would be nice. And we're going to talk a little bit about my experience with the Caracal. So yeah, definitely an interesting one to say the least, and not happy at all. So I just want to say, let me go through this list really quick. Hello, Kathleen Music Lover. C. Kim, hello. Dennis B. Channel Cat Chaser, if you're still here. Pistol Pete. Range Randy. Nick Rodriguez. Who else? Art Imla, hello, sir. I think that might be it right now. Let's see. Oh boy, just a whole bunch of them just came up. Daniel God is my judge. Hello, sir. Anthony Lamastro, hello. And hello to everybody else. Screaming Skull Saloon. And if I missed anybody, Hashim Rakam, hello. And I'm not Will Rogers. So what we're going to do is I got two things running here at once because I can't ever keep up with this stuff. So I'm going to do my best tonight. So the first question of the night is going to be unhappy with the new gun. That is a slight understatement. That gun, the Caracal, is probably the most disappointing handgun that I've ever owned. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go on the record of this, because I'm sure there's going to be somebody out there who's going to say, oh, the Caracal is the best gun they've ever shot. It is the worst striker-fired polymer handgun I've ever owned. And I say that gently. And it's not because it's not ergonomic. It's not because the sights suck. It's not because it's, the slide rides too high or there's a lot of, recoil. It's the simple fact that it is one of the most unreliable handguns that I've ever shot. And I absolutely will not recommend this gun to anyone at this point. So there's going to be a follow-up video. I'm going to explain all that in that video. But, we'll talk about it tonight a little bit, kind of give you my insights as to, what happened. I think this is a good way of saying it. Caracal. That's a very good one. Good one for you. And yes, Art, it is a major disappointment. And it's a disappointment because I paid $500 for that gun. Unlike other people who won't tell you how much they paid, I paid $500 and it came out of my pocket. So this gun did not come to me for free. It was shipped directly from Boise, Idaho, and that's about the only way you can get them right now. So unfortunately, it is an absolute garbage handgun, and I'm pissed. I'm not going to lie. Pretty pissed off about it. And I decided to wear my Steyr shirt because I had every intention of taking this gun and the Caracal and running them against each other. And I wanted to see what the differences were, what the recoil was, because, the people at Caracal said to me it was the cousin of the Steyr, and it must be a genetic flaw in the family because there is no comparison. I shot 200 rounds through this gun today, flawless, again. Caracal couldn't even get through 125 rounds. So it's really disappointing. All right, let's see what we got going on here. See, Kim, I paid for it. Why would I not? I don't get guns for free, guys, but yes, I actually paid for it, and I am absolutely disgusted with it. I already emailed Caracal, asked them they need to take the gun, fix it, and I might actually just say I want my money back because it's not a gun that I can ever trust. It's just not at this point. What are my options? Options are it's going to go back, it's going to get looked at, it's going to get fixed. And if they decide to replace the gun with a new one, I'm going to sell it. I'm not keeping it. 500 for what? And that's a good point. Like I said, you guys know that I don't like to necessarily do the same guns as everyone else. I mean, I've shot almost every striker-fired polymer gun on the market, and I'm tired of shooting CZs. I'm tired of shooting Glocks and Smiths and all that other stuff. So I want to do something different. Caracal is very different. Very reminiscent of when I took a chance on this gun, and it didn't pay off. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It says here, Tim with Military Arms Channel said he will not run the Steyr M9A1 through the gauntlet test because they are dangerous and unreliable due to the recall back in 2011. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, this is going on about 4,000 rounds right now, not one failure. I feel 100% safe with this gun. I don't plan on running it through mud or, taking a nice dip in the river with this gun on me. I don't plan on doing that. So for me, I have no problem carrying a Steyr. Whoops. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Wait, I'm going to go back to Pistol B. Tell them to trade it for a Beretta Elite. No, they're not going to do that. I honestly, I don't know what's going to be the outcome of it. And again, that's on them. It's totally on them what they decide to do. It's going to be a testament to their customer service, and it's going to be a testament to what they think is the problem. But I'll tell you right now, if they're going to tell me it's ammo or if it's limp wristing or whatever it might be, I will absolutely not listen to that as an excuse because it has nothing to do with ammo. I used 124 grain. I used 3 different types of ammo today. None of them worked. None of them. But again, I was going to compare the Steyr. Steyr ran flawlessly. So what could it be? Steve Lemieux. My original Caracal went back twice. The replacement USA made went back once for a trigger spring. What broke on yours? Nothing broke. Just didn't work. I mean, I have it right here, actually. I actually took it apart. I was so pissed I was actually going to throw it down the range. But this is a slide. I actually looked in the slide, and you can see it's well lubed. Blah, blah, blah. And I went and looked and see what was going on. Nothing looks out of place. Everything looks like it did when it came out of the box. I just could not run a magazine through it. As a matter of fact, out of about 120 rounds, I was only able to run one full magazine of 10 rounds because that's all we get. And everything else would be a failure to eject. I posted a bunch of stuff online, showing you the problems where you'd have you'd have a chamber that had a used casing in it and another round trying to slam into it. And the slide would not shut or go forward. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. And it was happening anywhere from 2 to 4 rounds of shooting. So it was absolutely pathetic. It was a failure to extract and double feeding. All right, so looking for something different. Got an Archon Type B, which I love. Yep, I was very disappointed on it. Yep, and again, because I had to wait for so long, I think that's what makes it even more raw, I guess you could say. But, that's the way it is. And like I said, some people always give me crap because they're like, well, why would you buy it in the first place? Well, why wouldn't I? I mean, it's a new gun. It's something I wanted to try out. I'm not opposed to trying something different. And, honestly, I thought it was going to run fine. I mean, it is based off of loosely the Steyr model. And it was just absolutely, in my opinion, a disgrace in regards to the market. If you're in the market and you're looking for this gun, don't do it. I can't recommend it. I didn't even feel, there were some times where I was shooting this gun where I didn't even feel safe shooting it anymore. I had fragments coming back into my face. I had, those double feeds. And, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Again, I don't know if it was a recoil spring. I used 115, 124 grain. It didn't feed anything right. Nothing at all. Let's see. I like Tim, but he's dead wrong about the Steyr. They fixed that issue almost a decade ago. Yeah, Gen 4 Steyrs are great. Now they have the new MF out. And, ultimately, whatever happens with this Caracal, it's probably going to go away. What do I think about the Taurus 92 clone? I don't know. I'm not going to say anything about Taurus. I don't like Taurus. They have a bad record. And as a result, I will not even think about owning one of those guns. That's just my opinion. Again, you take it for what it's worth, which isn't much. All right. All right. So, just getting kind of back to the Steyr, I tried everything also. I was readjusting my grip, making sure I wasn't riding the slide release. Just every and anything I could think of, and it just wasn't working. Wait, Razor saying, hey, next time you do these chats, if you roughly do an hour, go on IG Live as well. Oh, I didn't know I could even do that. Okay. You are computer savvy, sir. Fresh is saying P10C. Look, it's funny because I was actually looking at the S's because I'm interested in the S. I already went the route of the C. I wanted to try an S out. But again, stupid me, I went for the gun that breaks. So, at least you got to have a sense of humor about it. It's either that or you're going to throw the damn thing against the wall. Who was this saying that? Oh, let's see. LZ saying, trout the USA P10 S's, CZ's T. I have not found a 10-round compliant one. So if you know where I can find one of those, let me know. Although, I am actually getting rid of my APX. That's right. I am. And I love that gun. But I am replacing it with another APX Centurion, but I'm not telling you what's different about it. Instagram Live cuts you off at an hour, but you do both and work out well. Oh, interesting. Very good. Big Al saying, send it to me. All right, $500 is yours, pal. No problem. I'm not giving it to you. Let's see. Nick saying there are enough guns in the world that work right out of the box. No one needs to put up with that. Yep, you're absolutely right. And I don't know what happened. You know, I'm sure that there's going to be somebody out there in the YouTube world that's going to review this gun and they're going to say, oh, it's wonderful. As a matter of fact, I was watching a video earlier that was done less than a year ago, and they were running it. The thing was running like a champ. I don't know what the hell went wrong. So it's the way it is. And it's funny that you bring this up, the Armsman, because I was actually thinking about this on my way home. If I had to choose between the CCP and the Caracal, I am choosing the CCP. And that says a lot because at least the CCP ran. The Caracal did not. So to put it bluntly, I ran 120 plus rounds, give or take. That's about 12 magazines because remember, it's 10 round limit. So I ran 12 magazines through this gun. And I would say that a third of the rounds or a third of the use of the gun were all failures. I would say it was anywhere from 2 to 4 rounds failure. Then when you extract the used brass, put the magazine back in, shot twice more, failure. And this was a constant thing. This wasn't just every other magazine or every third magazine. This was every single magazine except for one. Only one time did it run completely full to 10. All right, let's see what else we got here. Triple G saying, I'll give you 154. Yes, man, listen, I'm pissed. Let's see. So Razor saying, hi, I traded for a P10S 2 weeks ago. Gun I traded, I was selling for 350. I'll tell you. Artist saying, check out Fire Control Unit. They take the P320 FCU and drop it into a PCC pistol platform. Yeah, I'm not a 320 guy. They're nice, but it just doesn't do anything for me. Collector's Gun and Ammo has a C. Oh, do they? And it's a 10 rounder, huh? How much are they asking for that? Maybe I'll just drive up there and say, hey, how much will I get for this Caracal? Make it somebody else's problem. How rude would that be? Oh, Razor got rid of his P10S. Yeah, I actually wound up getting rid of, well, I haven't gotten rid of it yet, but I am going to be dropping that APX. And it's like I said, it's for another Centurion. But if you didn't know this, I'm just going to tell you because I really don't care. If you didn't know this, Beretta just recently released a couple of new APXs. They have now a long slide that's red dot capable and supposedly a trigger upgrade, which is interesting. They also released an all FDE model for the APX, which is not the one I'm getting. The one that I'm actually getting is the APX Centurion RDO. So it is a red dot optic ready. And I can't wait. I'm pretty excited for that because I'm going to start working on a red dot very soon through the encouragement of Big Johnson and, of course, my friend Razor here. Let's see. What's my take on plate carries? Like plate carrier? Like, is that what you're talking about? I mean, if you can get one before they ban them. Because, they're going to do that too at some point. Because, armor is dangerous. All right, let's see. As I scroll down here, guys. And again, I apologize if I'm not seeing your questions. Feel free to donate $100 and I will absolutely read them for you. I suppose moisture can eventually get to the propellant, but I have known of reloads that were double charged that caused a kaboom. That's bad. Yeah, and I mean, as unlikely as it sounds, I guess my biggest concern with the whole thing on this Caracal was that there's, at one point, a couple of times, I actually had to take a cleaning rod and stick it down the barrel to push the actual used round out. I couldn't get it out. It was stuck. And so my only concern was, let's say the ammo was out of spec and now you have, two pieces of ammo in there, one that's used and one that's live. And then next thing you know it, you pull the trigger and it goes bang and blows up in your hand. So, I mean, as unlikely as that sounds, honestly, I'm not going to lie. That was in the back of my head. It just was not a comfortable day shooting that gun. No, it's not. It's not back together yet. I haven't heard anything, so I'm just waiting. Again, I have plenty of time and patience, but I'm totally looking forward to it. Let's see. Yeah. So, again, I think at times you kind of wonder why these manufacturers make these guns, but don't necessarily. I don't know. Maybe this gun was just one of those flukes, and they're going to send me a new one that works great. I don't know. Yes, I used 3 types of ammo. 3 types. I used Blazer, American, and actually these right here. This is what I have left from today. Which, by the way, I love this. This is one of my favorite ammos. Cellular and Balot, I believe that, or Below. I don't know. But that's one of my favorite ammos. I love it. I think it's some of the cleanest brass that they have out. Ray's saying, how many sets do I have now? None. It's nasty out there, folks, but be realistic. Some of you may want and could use it, but be realistic with yourselves. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Have you taken the barrel out and checked it with a round? I haven't done that yet. I didn't have an opportunity. I want to see if the round is just sticking out a little bit too much or whatever it might be. I'm not sure. I'll be totally honest with you. All right, let's see. Bum, 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 bum. And Scott is saying it's good ammo. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I think it's great. And that's why I'm saying, if it's an ammo issue, I'm highly doubting it's an ammo issue. Highly doubting it. Cellier and Below. Okay, now I know how to say it. You sure it's not Cellier and Below? Some French or something? Blah, blah, blah. What do I think about it? I don't know. I've never seen it. I haven't even looked at it. I would tell you that I'm probably the worst to ask because I'm not really a SIG guy. Right now I own this one here, which is my P225A1, which I love. And I'm also getting another SIG very soon too, which I'm really excited about. But I had to trade some things to get it because it was a little costly. Damn, Razor, that's very nice of you, sir. But I will never ask you for money, my friend. Your friendship is worth more than money. Let's see. Don't buy ammo from the guy that washes your window at stoplights. Really? I thought you should. I was using the teacup grip. I felt like from the 1980s, I felt like that was an appropriate grip. But I had my support teacup hand really, really gripping that grip as hard as I could. So it can't be that. Let's see. So other than the Apex, no more polymer. I will never say no to that. I do have the Masada. God, I hope that gun is better than this Caracal. Because if it's not, I'm probably gonna just be really, really fucking pissed off. Let's see. Paid about $5.50 for my original Caracal, and I now have 3 extra mags because I sent it back so many times. They give me a mag every time. Oh man, you know what? I don't even want an extra mag. I just want it to work, and then I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I'm going to keep it because it's a gun I just can't trust. If it comes back and is running 100%, maybe I'll reconsider. But right now, it's just not. It's just not worth it. It's not. No, I didn't go the elite route. That's way too much money. The new SIG, I actually bought it used because, I like used guns. They're cheaper and I like them. But I wound up buying an older SIG, but it's in good shape. And it's a P229 Dark Elite or Elite Dark or whatever. That's what I went for. And I'm really excited for it. Yeah, I have to say I agree with that. I actually dry fired it a couple times and it was a little mushy. I'm not going to lie. It actually scares me because it reminds me a lot of the Caracal trigger. No, I'm too even keeled for that. Sorry. Yeah, I know. At least we can comfort each other with our anger. Let's see, as I believe it's not my first red dot. My first red dot was a SIG 320RX, and my second was an MOS from Glock. So this will be my third. Oh, and I also had the PPS RMSC. So it's my fourth, but I've never stuck by it. Now I have to. Brian is saying that he is over polymer too. Yeah, it's kind of like polymer burnout at this point. So I've been looking at a lot of metal guns, and that's what I'm carrying. I'm carrying the P225. Love that gun. Can't complain about it. It just carries well, even though it's limited with 8 rounds. But it's just a fantastic gun. I did check the trigger pull on the Caracal, and the way the trigger safety is on this thing is kind of a pain because it's kind of got like a little curvature right about there. So when you try to kind of catch it, it falls off. But when I was able to get it, it was pulling around 5.5-ish pounds. So it wasn't bad. It's just extremely long. Let's see. What in God's name is that? What is this? Big. Oh, nobody cares about football. I don't. No, it does not take Glock mags either. How long is before the Masada? Whenever the judge sends out the paperwork. So hopefully a couple of weeks, maybe next year. How come those previous red dots didn't work, or was it about the fire? It's about me. It's about me, not the guns. As many of you know, I have a little bit of a tremor in my hands, which people are so nice and polite to tell me every time. So I do have a little bit of tremor, which can make it quite interesting to shoot a red dot. A little bit of movement, and it goes all over the place. So, I wasn't shooting bad with it, but it just wasn't, to me, I was doing better with the iron, so I stuck with that. But, sometimes you got to grow, man. Got to grow and challenge yourself, and that's what I plan on doing. Tenfolio CZ clones, you won't be disappointed. Yeah, but at the same time, you could also get a Rock Island Armory clone, and it's a lot cheaper. So, which I did a video on. Let's see. Screaming saying that, honestly, I'm going to just spend my money on ammo and training for a while. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do from here on out. Oh, that's right. It's, Dennis likes college football. I don't know what I'm going to do from now. So we'll see. The armsman is saying that I need to break it in with 147 grain. Yeah, I guess I got to go plus P plus for it to work effectively. How's the used market on SIGs? Did it drop much at all? In California, they never lose more than 10%. It depends where you go. I will tell you that I've seen P320s used for $350. So then, it's not a very good market here. Let's see. Hey, yep, rub it in. Well, wait, where was it at? Art. Yeah, they have, I can't remember what it's called. The map. If you look at the map firearm that Rock Island Armory has, it's basically a clone. Joseph says we should link at Masterclass. Well, we can do that. Shoot me an email. We'll go. And then I can let you shoot the Caracal. Maybe it'll blow up in your hands. Just kidding, Joe. I've never bought Underwood ammo. I think it's pretty costly, and I'm pretty cheap. So I buy stuff that's on sale, and I never see that on sale. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. $569 for a 10 mil. That's pretty sweet. All right, let's see. I would put a small mark on your recoil spring. I bet they replace it, if not the whole gun. Yeah, again, that's a good point. I can do that. I'm just kind of curious what they're going to say it was. And, one of the things that I noticed about the design of it is where the spring is. When I showed the spring, I'm like, I don't even know how this gun operates. But it looks like the spring is attached to the extractor. So I wonder if something with that spring is not properly pushing, or there's not enough tension on that spring, which is not causing to eject the rounds properly. So I don't know if that's a design flaw or if it's just that particular gun, but something's up. What other calibers do you like? If blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm a 9mm guy. I don't see, and I've gotten people like mad at me for saying this, but I don't really see a purpose of buying anything else at this point. 9mm is a very good round. It provides enough speed and enough punch. It's not a 10mm, obviously, but I don't see why I would move anything else. I mean, if I could shoot something else, I would like to have an experience with a 10mm. I think that's where my curiosity lies. I've shot 40, I've shot 45s, and they're great, but I would like to shoot a 10mm at some point. Let's see. Let's see. I hope your wife don't know about you. Hear from her a month. Well, I told her today. You know, she asked me how did the shooting go, and I said it was terrible. I said I had multiple failures. I'm so pissed. And I think where the anger comes from is the fact that, you know, nobody was pushing this gun. Nobody was mentioning the gun. Nobody was talking about the gun. And I kept saying it was going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. It's kind of like a Steyr, you know. And then you get one, and it's a complete miserable failure. And what makes it even worse, more bitter, is the fact that you paid for it. So, you know, and like I said, you can't cry over spilled milk. You know, I paid for it. It's my money. You know, you win some, you lose some. In this case, I lost big because the gun is non-functional. I mean, I don't look. If I was going to say it was, you know, failure every 50 rounds or something, you know, maybe I could work with that. But we're talking every 2 to 4 rounds, there's a failure. And that is 100% unacceptable, especially in the market that we're in right now. I have literally shot almost every striker fired polymer gun on the market. Not all of them, but most of them. And I have never had an issue like this today. It was disgusting. That's how bad it was. Yeah, this is a good point, Nick. 9mm is great when you have multiple kids who love throwing your money downrange. And that's true, you know? So it's cheap and it's affordable. And you're right. I got other priorities. Didn't realize that Caracal is such an old gun through the years. Doesn't look like any change. There is not. I mean, they had it years ago, and you know, there was a recall. I was reading that somebody was saying in one of the forums that I guess there was some form of discharge, whether it was negligent or firearm, you know, caused. But nonetheless, they recalled all of the old ones. Then they changed them, put this new enhanced trigger in it, and everybody in the forums were saying it is the worst trigger they've ever felt. And a lot of them were saying they were selling them because they were just so disappointed. And, you know, like I said, I wanted to be optimistic. I wanted to say, you know what, this is going to be a good gun. Here's why I think you should get it. And then it's completely the reverse. And, you know, I'm going to be interested to see what Caracal says because I've been bashing him all day. So it probably won't be favorable, but I'm okay with that. You know, I'm not a paid guy here. Nobody is going to send me something and I'm going to tell you something that's not true. And if, like I said, if that saves one of you from buying this gun, I'd rather do that. Let's see. I should get the Strike B. Yeah, I can't see spending $800 for that gun. I just can't. Music, I was very tempted. As a matter of fact, a lot of the video that I shot today has a lot of cursing in it. So I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to edit it. I think I'm just going to throw it in the video so you guys can feel my frustration. Dexter, what would I consider? I don't know. The Tenfoglio has a nice, it's a stainless steel 10mm, and it's a compact. I'd like to shoot that. And yes, Rock Island does make a nice looking 10mm. I agree with that. Caracal isn't even interesting or unique enough to keep it right as a see, but I don't agree with that. I think it's actually an interesting looking gun, and you know, like I said, it sits very low on your hand, and you don't see that often. You don't see guns like that very often. I mean, it sits lower in my hand than my Steyr did, and so for me, that's pretty cool. And if you have any experience with Steyrs, and if you have never shot one, you're missing out. But if you have shot one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This gun is just perfect for so many different reasons. And if Caracal could have followed suit with that, it would have been great. Oh my God, it's going too fast. Captain Shark saying, if you could only keep one Caracal versus Canic, I would keep the Canics. I would keep the Canic and I'd keep the CCP over the Caracal. Absolutely. And that says a lot. Let's see. What is this saying here? La, 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 la. Does the Caracal still look good to you? No, it looks good. Like I said, ergonomically, it's a very nice pistol. I mean, it fits really nicely in the hand. I had no problem gripping it, controlling it. It just sucked. It just didn't work. It was terrible. Thank you, Fresh. I appreciate that, sir. La, la, la. I don't know what this means. So I guess if they, well, no, because if they, well, Jesus, yes. If they send me a new gun with a new serial number, I have to put it on my license and then wait. So yes, awesome, right? So don't be surprised if I send another email out and say to them, just, you know, just send me my money back. If they do that, I don't even know if they'll do that. Let's see. I had a really bad experience with the TP9 SF Elite. Really bad one. Broke, and then it's a long story. Gun broke. They sent it to New Hampshire instead of New York, and they had my gun, I think, for almost a year before they sent it back to the right address. So, not good. Yep. So, Joe, you could always email me at 1776erbust@gmail because I'm never going to remember that, buddy. So, yeah, I mean, it was a disaster, and it's a shame because I really had a lot of high hopes for it. But at least one thing came out of it, and it's got to be my love for this gun. I mean, the Steyr gun is just amazing. It really is. You can see a lot of the carbon built up on there. I just love this gun. I love it. And unfortunately, the Caracal is sitting all broken down in my Caracal box case. But yeah, I mean, and interestingly enough, what the trigger didn't actually feel that bad in this gun. The gun actually felt okay when I was shooting it in regards to the trigger. It's a long pull. You do have to stage it quite a bit. And I think that's where the learning curve comes into play because, you get some of these handguns where they have short triggers. Honestly, you really got to pull the trigger back and you've really got to stage that trigger before it breaks, which will hopefully increase the accuracy. I wasn't very accurate with what I was seeing, but, that's training. Let's see. Yeah. That's a good point, and I didn't even think about that until you guys mentioned that. Let's see. As far as I know, it is. I got it right in there. I shot it. It was great. Kathleen's asking, would I keep my current Steyr upgrade to newer model? I don't want the L9. I like the L, but I like the M. The M works for me better. So if I was going to upgrade this, I would definitely go for the new M series that they're coming out with, not the L. And I probably will. I would tell you no, but I'm not going to lie to you. I love the Steyr that much. And honestly, if it runs like this, this might go away and I might replace it with the new M if I have that opportunity. Steve's saying, just to make you feel better, send my H9 into Hudson, and he still doesn't have it. Honestly, Steve, I don't think you're ever getting that back. I'm sorry, buddy. That sucks. I'd be pissed. My God, I'd be pissed. See, Kim, you lost that. You missed absolutely nothing. This is nothing more than a boring chat. You know that. Yeah, and this is my concern. I may not get it back from, and that's for the Hudson. You probably won't ever get that back. Yes, I know he loves his 365 XL. I know that because he left one of his really nice comments on my feed about, I don't have a problem with my 360, blah, 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 blah. Shut up, Bald and Curious. I say that with love. M&L, it's going to be your length of slide. So, 4-inch versus 4 1/4 inch, just about. But same grip length. Would you be able to just buy a new M body? No, sir, you cannot. They're actually not going to be, you're not going to be able to run the old slides on the new bodies, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, I don't see that happening, that's a lot of money to put into, that gun. So I don't see that happening. I think it would have to be someone who, knows more about the 1911 type of model, Steve is, he's got to go into a safe place right now because he's really, really upset. And then the L it's full size is kind of a misleading term. And what I mean by that is that the grip is the exact same length as the M and the C. But, the only grip that's different is the S. That's shorter, but they're not making the S anymore. The barrel extends out a little from the slide on the Caracal. That is correct, sir. It does. I want one of the Beretta 92 Inex Ghosts with a stainless steel frame. Well, maybe you should contact Yankee Marshall. I'm sure he'll give you his, right? Yeah, I'd like the 92Xs. I'd like to try one of those out. Not the competition gun, but maybe maybe like the Centurion or the Compact. I wasn't sure which one I'd like better, but I'm trying to find one in the wild. I have not heard much about the Alien Lugo, except for that it's insanely expensive and it's a limited run. So, if you've got like, $8,000 to buy it, go for it. Even though it's not $8,000. It's a little bit of hyperbole, guys. Let's see. Kathleen sending some hugs to Steve. It's going to be okay, Steve. You'll be fine, buddy. So at this point, that's about all I want to talk about with the Caracal. So if you guys have any more questions or any other questions or comments, please let me know, and we will answer, or I will answer as best I can. And I guess the best part of it is I did get a cleaning kit with the Caracal. So at least that's the consolation prize on that. But yeah, so that's about it. It's like I said, nobody likes going to the range and having just a really bad day shooting, but I think no one definitely likes going to the range and having a gun that doesn't operate. So, and like I said, I've been leaving comments for Caracal to respond. So far, I haven't heard anything, and that's the way it is. So, we'll see. I want to see. All right, Joe, I just got your email. So we'll try to hook up together, man. Maybe we'll go shooting. That'd be cool. Be some time for me. I got some things coming up, so it's going to be a little while before I get back to the range. Let's see. Oh, here's a question. Yes. I did actually change the PCR. That's the one gun I haven't done a damn thing with yet. I changed the front sight. I got a Meprolite sight, but I got to get something for the rear. And that's about it. Let's see. My local shop had one of them. They had it out for $5.99. Yeah, no, I love that sometimes when you walk into a gun shop and they have no clue what they have, but you do. And that's why you jump on it right away, even if you put like $20 down on it as a down payment or something. Let's see. Any thoughts on the red flag laws? Yeah, they're ridiculous and stupid. They don't save anybody. Let's see. I saw a question here. Is it fast? Well, they may not be fast now because I've been bad-mouthing them the whole day. But like I said, they've got something to prove. I don't. Where's KS Gun Guy? As far as I know, he's still around. He wasn't feeling too well, so he's a little under the weather. But he'll be back soon. Let's see. Would have never bought a Caracal. Well, you're right. You should never. Sometimes our schedules don't work. So I had to go to my daughter's middle school orientation, which unfortunately, no offense to anybody, a little bit more important. Priorities, right? The PCR has a pin front sight? No. Well, sort of. You just got to punch the pin out. Punch it out. And then depending on the sight you get, you put the sight in and you take a little drill bit and go beep, and then you put the punch back in or punch it back in. It's fairly straightforward, fairly easy. Is the Legion version of all steel signs worth it or not? Is the Legion version of all steel? As far as I know, the Legions are aluminum. As far as I know. And I don't own one, but I'd like to. Although, I've been looking at a 229 Scorpion. I like that quite a bit. But I also like the M11A1 Army, which is the green one, because I like colors on my guns. So I've been looking at those. So maybe I can convince my wife to get that for me for Christmas, which I doubt, but we'll try. Let's see. Send your PCR to CZ Custom, $400. You'll love what they do. Oh, I thought you had a coupon to get $400 off. I'm not doing that. I mean, I would spend the $20 and get in the springs just to reduce it, but I just can't see spending that money to upgrade a gun, which I think is a good carry piece as it is. I mean, you'd get the $20 hammer spring and your plunger spring and your striker spring. That gun is pretty good, man. You're talking about an 8-pound pull, double action, and a 4-pound and change pull for a single action. I'm okay with that. Yeah. The Caracal service might be fast because they have dedicated 85%. Yeah. I mean, that could be the case. Most of their employees are doing all that stuff. Let's see. 86 Caracal and get the PX4 Storm carry. We'll see. I don't know what I'm going to do. Once I get rid of it, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say I'm going to keep it. It's just not worth keeping. And it was such a major disappointment that it just would be crazy to keep a gun like that because you can never trust it. And, I know there's some people out there who are going to bitch and moan and complain and say that I'm whining or whatever, but it has nothing to do with whining. It's just the reality of things. This gun didn't work. And it has nothing to do with me. The gun just didn't work. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry to disappoint. That's. I know that's not the norm in society today. Everybody's so self-absorbed, but I'm not. Let's see. Yeah, I was looking at what was that? It was an elite, one of those P229. God, what was it? I want to say it was an elite, or if it was I can't remember. But it was the stainless version. Man, it was beautiful. It had these rosewood grips on it. So nice, so nice. But it was, it kept going up in price on the bids. So I was like, no, I can't do that. I'd like to do it because it's really a nice looking gun. Let's see. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. X5 Legion. Yeah, no, it's a nice gun, but it has to have a purpose for me personally. I'm not going to be out there shooting any competitions. I mean, if you're a competitive shooter, I think that's a no-brainer. I mean, it's a really nice gun. It's new. It's got a lot of ingenuity behind it. Now, whether or not it's going to be reliable, who's to say? SIG has obviously some issues with some of their guns, but from what I've seen, a lot of people love the gun. I know that the Humble Marksman made a video on his, and he seems to love it. I know that KS made a video and he loves it. So there's a lot of people out there making those videos that love the gun. Let's see. And I think Art says it best. The X5 Legion is very single-purpose minded, and I agree. But again, if you're that competitive guy, which again, and when you compare it to some of the other guns that came out recently, like the Walther, the Q5 steel frame, that gun could have been a friggin' amazing gun had they done a couple of different things, which I know a lot of you probably are aware of. I know Honest Outlaw talked about it. And I think they made a few mistakes with that, but it is what it is. Yes, nothing wrong with that. He loves everything. I just wish somebody who actually had a large following on YouTube would do a Caracal video just to see what their thoughts are. Because I guarantee you somebody will say, "Oh, it's the best gun. We use it in all our training classes, and it's been flawless." And maybe it is me. Maybe I shouldn't have been shooting it upside down. Let's see, the Gun Snob. I really liked it, and my video has done great on it. What is this video of? Is it of the Caracal? I don't know. What are we talking about? Oh, probably the X5 Legion or something. I don't know. P226 Extreme. Yeah, I mean, I've got, like I said, I got that Elite on the way, and it's pretty cool. It's got the SRT trigger in it. It's got that horribly crappy rear adjustable sight, which I've heard nightmares on. But I guess you can get them from, Dawson Precision, where you can get a blacked out rear. So I'll probably do that. It's fairly inexpensive. Yeah, probably. Oh, it's the best gun ever. All right, let's see. Oh, the X5. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, a lot of people are ordering those Legions. They're nice. I don't know. I guess my biggest problem with some guns is the fact of the price. I mean, if you look in the used market, you could probably get a fairly nice looking Legion for, maybe $800, $900. I mean, is that worth dropping that change into it? You know, it's like a $1,200 gun, so you figure pay about anywhere from $1,000 to $1,100. So is it worth saving anywhere from $300 to $400 for a rarely used gun? Because you know what happens? A lot of times people will buy these guns and they sit in a safe. For me, I tend to rotate everything. I carry everything. The only thing I haven't carried yet at this point is the M9A3, which has been sitting in that safe too long. That'll probably change during the winter because I do have a holster. Actually, I don't even know if my safe is open. Oh, my safe's not open. Darn it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut my camera off for a second so you guys can't see my magical code, which is 12345 6. And I want to pull out the old M9A3. Ugh. So I really don't have a holster for it. I actually bought this online for the 92 because this is really the holster for a 92. But this is a Galco. It's got the basket weave. I just felt this was appropriate for the 92 because it is a typical 80s I'm a tough guy holster with the thumb brake. So it actually fits the M9A3 really well. I've been just breaking it in, holding it in there till the 92 comes home. So I definitely need to get some holster for this, holster that fits it appropriately. That doesn't look like this, but this would definitely be on Magnum PI or at least Miami Vice. And that was the look I was going for. So just so you know. So once that 92 comes back, I'm going to be rocking a basket weave leather holster for it because I just think that was very appropriate for that gun. Let's see. Yeah, I've seen the Scorpions for about $700, but they're very rare sometimes, and a lot of times they're used. And like I said, I don't have a problem with a used gun. I mean, if you can find a good priced used gun that's in good shape and good condition, jump all over it, man. Let's see. So a lot of dead silence as I'm reading the comments here. So my apologies if you're listening to this and not watching it. So LZ's plugging Brownells. They have a Labor Day sale going on. Check it out. So I am not affiliated with Brownells. It would be kind of cool if like some of these places would actually acknowledge, channels from New York, because there are people out here who actually like guns. Brownells. Hint, hint. Pistol Pete's asking, what is the sale? So I'm sure I'll be banned from YouTube for talking about this stuff, which is fine. Pistol Pete saying 96. I don't know what that means. Looks like 96. Or is that a percentage? I don't know. So yeah, at this point, I'm just waiting on a couple of things here. I've got the Masada that's still out in the wilderness. I also am going to be getting my Phantom back, CZ Phantom. I bought one again, got it super cheap. Still waiting on that, which is kind of crazy because I actually put that in before I put in the Masada, and I put it in right after the Caracal. So I'm surprised I haven't gotten that yet. Let's see. This is interesting. They're saying I should be a guest on the TGC podcast. Well, nobody's invited me. I don't really get invites a lot. I think people think I have a bad attitude. And I'm okay with that. Look, I'm a New Yorker, man. And I'm not saying I have a bad attitude, but I certainly don't mind saying what I need to say. And, if it hurts people's feelings, I always say I'm sorry. But, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if they want to invite me, go ahead. You can tell them. Let's see. I have a Codex holster for my M9A1 from Muddy River Tactical. It would fit the M9A3, but can't speak of quality since I can't carry in Maryland. Oh, God, that's terrible. I'm sorry. Scott P79 is throwing some hate at the gun snob. Yeah, I love Beretta. I'm a big Beretta fan. Like I said, I'm getting that APX RDO, the Centurion. That's going to be sweet. And I got a red dot. I actually got a new one because I have the Vortex Venom. And, I wanted to upgrade a little bit. So I wound up picking one. But, I'll wait. Let's see. I want to see the Masada video. You do. I do. I want to shoot it. And I'm telling you, if it's anything like this gun, it's just going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. A lot of hate in the room. I don't have an accent. You guys have an accent. Dennis is throwing me some love. Thanks, Dennis. Appreciate it, buddy. Oh, God, it just jumped. And you're probably right on that, Dennis. Let's see. Do your coupons all go to the same one judge? No, they kind of rotate, whoever's the accepting judge. Let's see. No, Pistol Pete, it's not a 507C. Ha-ha. 3. I don't know what it is. I think it's a 2. I can't remember. I got to look at it. I haven't gotten it yet. I'm still waiting for it. It's coming in the mail. Yeah, Big J, I think, has 52 of them, actually. I think he's put them on every single gun, including his little 22, his Ruger. No, I actually did not send the APX off for work. I was thinking about it, and I had inquired about it. But then I was reading an article, and for whatever reason, Beretta did not advertise it, but they actually released, they do have the red dot in the full-size Beretta APX, but they just released the RDO in a Centurion. And so that's the gun I have now, and I love that gun. And so I went ahead and ordered one, and I'm going to trade my old APX in for it. Totally worth it, in my opinion. Let's see. Eric is saying he traded his 365 on a 365. I could say it on a Glock 26 Gen 5. Had a real tough time getting a good draw out of the holster. Yeah, that gun is so small, and I know some people say, "Oh, it's not too small," but it's too small for me, and it's too small for my comfort level. So I don't blame you on doing that. Although the 26 isn't that big either. The Shield 4-inch has been great. I have no problems with that. Revolvers are popular with the older crowd. The elderly statesmen of the gun community. It is not necessarily popular with a lot of the, guys who are in their 20s or even my age in the 40s. So no, I would say it's probably not, but I could be wrong. Steve is throwing out there the SRO. Hell no, that thing's like $600. No way would I pay that. Sorry. LZ, are you affiliated with Brownells? Because this is now the second time. I'm getting a little suspicious of you. Oh my gosh, this is going crazy fast again. Holy moly. Let's see. Wow, there's a lot. What does that mean, coupons? I don't know what that means. All right, hold on. It says here, why do some take longer than others? It depends on the judge. Judge preference. If the judge is gun friendly, they go quick. If they're not, they don't. They sit on them. Let's see. I would never. That's probably their rifle, correct? At this point, I have such a bad taste in my mouth from Caracal that I would be hard pressed to ever try something again from them. And that's how it is with me sometimes. I'm bitter. What's still in the collection that are staples you're keeping? Well, all my P01s. I've got the P01 Omega, the P01, the older version, my PCR. Those are all staples. Those will never go. The M9A3 is a staple. The 92, whenever that comes back, which I can't wait because I'm so excited to see what was done with it. That'll be a staple because it's just a collector's piece, in my opinion. It's not necessarily the most popular gun ever, but to me, it's a collector. The Steyr is still a mainstay. My PPQ is a mainstay. Trying to think what else, and that's really about it right now. And once I get the RDO from APX RDO, that's going to be a staple as well. That's the gun I plan on really getting comfortable with a red dot with, and I hope it works well. At least I hope so. But you know how that is. Yeah, it's there sometimes. It comes out more. I try to be prim and proper. All right, so Razor's saying SRO for $500, but really nothing special. Again, there's some people saying it's really better for, competition shooting, not so much for daily carry. I actually didn't go, again, this is probably going to backfire on me, but I actually didn't go the normal route. I mean, most people will drop an RMR on there, whether it's type 1 or type 2. Some will drive the 507C on there from Holosun. I decided not to do any of those, or bursts. I'm not doing any of those. But I don't want to tell you what it is. Yeah, that is true. I always get a lot of emails for Beretta clothing, but I never get any emails for Beretta guns, which is so weird. Hey, buy a Beretta sweatshirt. Oh, and by the way, 3 months ago, we released a brand new gun. I don't get it. Those are hard to find. Best bet, try Gun Broker. Let's see. Somebody local was selling theirs, but they wanted I think they wanted $750 for it or something like that, and I was like, nah. And you know what? I'm not big on that. I mean, it's a nice gun, obviously, and it looks like it shoots really nicely. But I did watch some videos on it, and some people were kind of complaining. I just got a new email from somebody. Who is this? I get these weird emails sometimes from people. I don't even know who they are. Isn't that weird? All right, let's see. La, 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 la. So only the 90-2 is the Save Queen. I don't have a 226. I have a 225A1, and I'm going to be getting a 229, but I will be carrying those guns. I've been carrying this a lot. I don't know what it is. I love this gun. I just love it. It's cool. It's a little heavy, but I'm not a string bean. I'm not a soy boy. I can handle it. But yeah, the 92 will probably be a Save Queen. And the company that took it and is going to be doing some work for me. I've yet to really hear back what they're looking at or what they're going to possibly do with it. So hopefully they haven't sold it. But I'm really excited to see it come back and what they've done with it, because it's going to shock people. I think it will. Plus, I have so many upgrades for it right now that are just sitting in my drawer. Nope, not a Delta Point Pro. Oh, LZ's throwing out some more sales. Man, you're like the advertiser. The MSC pistol. I did. I had some money down on it, but you know what? I'm not a huge fan of single stacks. I'm not. There's so many out there right now, and there's a lot of good options, and there's always somebody trying to reinvent what the single stacks are. But I've been very pleased with the Shield. I still think the Smith & Wesson Shield is probably by far the best single stack on the market. Sure, it doesn't have the round capacity and blah blah blah, but I love the Shield, and if it ain't broke, why fix it? Ooh, they do? How much is that? Like $800? Damn it. Now I need to sell the Caracal. Let's see. This was sent to me by Steyr. When I think they finally realized I released like 4,000 videos on my experience with Steyr, they actually sent me some swag, including this really cool t-shirt. And so I'm special. This might be the only one that's out in the wild. It would have been nice if they sent me the MF, but they didn't. They did, but they took it back, which is kind of a bummer. I should have kept it. That's what I should have done. I should have said, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Huh? My gun. But no, I wasn't able to keep that. And I kind of resent it a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But hopefully at some point, when the M comes out, I'll be able to get my hands on one of those, and we'll see. We'll go from there. I have no experience with the Shield 45, although I've heard that it's very good, very soft shooting 45 for a small gun. Yeah, I'm not really into the 226. Too big. Okay, yep. And yes, I did fix that capacity issue with the Shield. So now I'm running, I got two 10-round mags, and I've got a 9-round magazine with a pinky extension. So it's perfect. Caracal, I'll send you a t-shirt. No, that's not happening. What's going to be funny is the response. I think I've totally burned the bridge down. And, honestly, I don't care. I don't care if they feel that way. You cannot, in the days that we're in right now, with this, and I'll say this till my last breath, you cannot put out a product, and I don't care if it's a gun or a refrigerator or, headphones or a car. You cannot put out a product that is inferior in every single way and expect people to be happy with that. So when this gun came to me, it looked nice. I mean, there were some issues with it, and I mentioned that in the first video. Some things I was a little iffy on, especially that trigger. But for the most part, it seemed solid. It seemed like a solid offering. Now, again, the MSRP I think is way too high at $600. And I think even the over-the-counter price is too high because it's not really giving you anything. It's not really giving you any more than something else is. And then, of course, you factor in all the issues that I had today with that gun. There is absolutely no excuse for that whatsoever. First off, it's a gun. It's not a pair of sneakers. So if you have a blowout with your sneakers, you're not going to die. But if you have that gun and that gun is not functioning, or if it malfunctions to the point where it hurts you, that's a problem. And they better address it like that. This is not just a a small issue. This was a huge, significant issue with this gun. And that's why I'm on them, and I'm not going to stop, because there's absolutely no reason why this gun should have been let out into the wild and have some issues like this. That's unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. I am a huge shill. No. How am I a shill? They didn't pay me anything for it. And not to mention, they didn't give me this damn gun. I've had this gun for years, and go back to the catalog of videos. You'll see every Steyr video I ever released. I do. I actually love the look of the new Steyr pistol. Absolutely. And I think the M will be even better. Let's see. I'm just going through some of these. Which Shield 45 do you have, 1 or 2? He's asking that to Keith Gregory. 9mm Shield 2.0 is in the 4-inch barrel version and carried daily. Yeah, that's what I got. I love it. It's a great gun. You know, the only way I'd probably get rid of that shield is if I was going to try to upgrade it to get the one with the optic on it. That would be the only way I'd get rid of it. It's such a nice gun. I mean, it's easy to carry. There's absolutely no issues with it. So that to me is worth it. How does the APX deal with the trigger safety for the red dot ready version? Well, that's the thing. That plunger, from what I've read and what I've kind of tried to make myself a little smarter on, is when the plunger comes up, you can actually reduce the size of that plunger, but not affect the actual gun. So that's probably what they're doing. Again, I'm only telling you what I think. I don't know. Do I think I got a lemon? Well, I've only seen, for the newer model, for the USA made model, I saw a video, which I don't even know if it was a review. It was more like an advertisement, where they were talking about the trigger, and everything was scripted. You could tell. And they had no issue that they ran it. And then I saw another one from a holster company. I can't remember. And they did it 10 months ago, and they ran that thing like a champ. So is there a possibility it's a lemon? Sure. Anything's possible. But that's not up to me to decide. That's up to them to figure it out, and it's up to them to rectify it. I mean, if they want to take this gun and replace it with a new gun, and that gun comes back and it's flawless, I will have no problem making that video. Absolutely no problem at all. And I've said that, you know, if this gun comes back great, I'm going to say it. Man, this gun is great. If it comes back and there's still issues, or they don't take care of it, or they give me the runaround, that absolutely will be out there. And if that burns bridges, if that pisses people off, I don't care. You know, there's no way I'm going to hide that, because you guys, if you choose to buy a gun and you look at YouTube reviewers on the internet, you have a right to know whether or not that gun's going to function properly. And if it costs me subscribers, so be it. It only took me like 4 years to get 10,000. I do prefer compact guns. If it wasn't for carry, but just for range. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a compact gun, especially if it's going to be dual purpose. I'd go compact all day long. But again, full-size guns are great too. But I prefer compacts. Let's see. So have they shot? I wonder, the downtrodden, have they sold a lot of the enhanced F models, or are you talking about the rifles? Just out of curiosity. And that's why I'm saying maybe it is a lemon. But I'm not going to stop getting pissed just because, you know, I'm the only one who has a problem with it. And you know, it's ridiculous. Like I said, $500, man. I basically ate $500, and I'm not happy about it. And neither should I be. And if you bought it and you had the same problems, I'm sure none of you would be. I actually have the Masada already. I'm just waiting to get my magical ticket so I can pick it up. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate it didn't work out, man, you know, but that's what happens. You take a risk, you know, and sometimes those risks pay off. Look, if I never took a risk on a Steyr, because these guns were nowhere, if I never took a risk on this gun, I would never have the opportunity to be so happy with it. And I'm glad I did, because I have never looked back from this Steyr. It's such a great gun. I'm not going to be storming Area 51 because I don't want to get it mowed down by, you know, an A10. It's hard to pay for a gun that's worth 500 or more. You know, it is, but you also have to realize, like, sometimes what I do is I trade. And I'll be honest with you, I traded some things to get that Caracal, which makes me even angrier. You know, not that, you know, and again, I'm not blaming anybody for this at all. You know, this is not me blaming, you know, necessarily Caracal for this, even though it is their gun. This was my decision. I'm a big boy. I'll soak it up, and that's the way it is. But I'm certainly not going to lay down and say, "Oh, it's a piece of shit. Let me not worry about it." And that may or may not be true with this. The Caracals were having problems. They were recalled. When they fixed it, everybody complained that the trigger sucked. But from what I heard, the original Caracal trigger was fantastic. And you're right, money is not easy to make. And, and again, I'm not making any excuses. I don't have a huge following. I don't get a lot of money from this at all. I make enough on the AdSense to buy ammo. And, it does bother me when I take these chances and they don't pay off. But like I said, that's the risk you take. Yep, $500 for the gun, ammo range, fees, and wasted time. You're absolutely right, sir. And again, that's what I think irritates me the most. And you know what? I think a lot of you are saying you have a right to be pissed and everything else. And you're right. But at the same time, I think what bothers me the most about this whole thing is the fact that, it was such a major problem. And it automatically makes the gun unusable. And more importantly, it makes you not able to trust the gun. And I think that's what irritates me the most about it, is that you go into it and you want to buy it, and then next thing you know, it's a turd. And now you're like, Jesus, I lost the money and now I can't trust it. And even if they replace it, can you trust it after that? And I think that's where you get kind of aggravated. So the downtrodden is saying, both my buddy has 10K through his pistol. They're good people. I'm sure they will take care of you. The 816, 814 are top notch. The 816 runs 960 RPM on a registered lower. Nice. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'd be interested to know if your buddy has the older version, United Arab Emirates version, or is it the USA model? Did I work a quality control job at some point? Nope. No. Should I? Should I have? Or are you trying to tell me something? I'm just curious. No, I still have the compact 2.0 compact still in the safe. That's also a keeper. I should have said that. That's going nowhere. It's too custom. I mean, it's a beautiful gun. That's a good point. We need more imports because those imports rock, man. They do. Some people bash foreign guns, but man, they just are bad. Thinking about the IWI Masada, already have plenty of similar capacity pistols, but interested. Should I give it a try? I think you should. I like IWI stuff. I think they make good stuff. I just, I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie, because my experience with the Caracal. But you know what? Hopefully it'll be better. Maybe the trigger isn't going to be great, but the fact that you're getting all that in that package for $400 versus a gun that doesn't work for $500. I mean, you be the judge. And that's what I was looking at that in the box, and it does not look like there's any test rounds fired at all in the factory. So that's a good point. Okay, so they have the New Hampshire model. So that's interesting. So like you said, maybe it is a lemon. Maybe it's just one of those guns that just got out and shouldn't have. And, it's unfortunate because it's, like I said, I'm going to make the video that is going to bash this gun. And if they send me another gun and it runs flawlessly, I will make a video on that saying, great customer service, fantastic gun. Yeah, the 2.0 is a great gun. Fantastic gun. Oh, let's see. No, I just keep checking out to see if I get an email from them, but so far nothing. I don't expect it this weekend anyway. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm really disappointed because I really had a lot of faith in the gun, as many of you probably know. And I agree with that too. The Masada does look like a blended type, a hybrid of all different ones. Yeah, I mean, if the Archon came down in price, I'd be happy with that. But it's still fairly expensive, Thanks, Art. Let's see. Yeah, I hope so. I really do. But like I said, we'll see. Razor saying he thinks it isn't a lemon. I honestly believe they don't care much for their pistols as they do their rifles. And that's a possibility too. I mean, maybe they don't think there's going to be a big market share for it. And that's a possibility. Like I said, you haven't seen much advertising. You haven't seen much publicity around the gun. And maybe that should be in the future a red flag. You know, when you don't see a manufacturer who's making a pistol touting it as the next best thing. You know, at least when you see other guns, they come out and they're like, "Whoa, look at this and look at that." But in this case, maybe they just didn't feel like it was worthwhile, you know, and that's a possibility. You know, I think Big Johnson had mentioned that they are, but that they're testing it with the police department in Texas. That would be pretty sweet, you know, because if you have experience with the 2.0s, man, they're great guns. They really are. They're solidly built. I have had no issues with them either. Yeah. No, sir. You know I'm not a Taurus guy, man. That's one I will never do. Sorry. Sorry for all the Taurus lovers out there. It just does nothing for me. Yep, Pistol Pete saying some PDs are running them now, so that's pretty cool. Let's see. I'm not Will Rogers is saying Mac had many failures with the P365 before he gave up. Maybe you did just get a lemon and need to do the diligence. Oh, I am. And like I said, I already contacted him. I'm going to give him an opportunity to make it right. Because that's what you need to do. You can't just, completely write it off. But at the same time, I'm not going to not make a video saying this gun sucked. And like I said, I have no problem saying if it's better. I have no problem doing that. Warsaw saying, I think the Second Amendment will never die because if it would, so would our country and Bill of Rights and the rest of the Constitution. Well, I don't think it will die. I don't think we will allow that to happen. Razor's throwing some shade. Love it. Screaming saying they're getting better. Yeah, I mean, if I look, I'm not even gonna say it. How many G2Cs or whatever the hell that gun is? Oh, it's a great gun. It's not a great gun. No, it's not. It's not for me. I mean, it's just not. And if you have experience with it and you love it, great. God bless. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I'd like to know what he did with that trigger because the trigger is donkey on this. It's horrible. The Caracal trigger sucks bad. And then Channel Cat Chaser's throwing out his love for the G2C. I knew he would. Let's see. J Mike saying I've been running a Hollow Sun on his P10S and loving it. I think I'd like to put it on a 2.0. Nice. Yeah, honestly, anything is better than the pistol I'm complaining about right now because you probably get probably much more consistency with every other gun that's out on the market. I mean, honestly, guys, I've never had a gun fail this bad. Never. I mean, the Canic was, I think, just a mess because of the customer service problem. It could have been fixed, and they screwed it up. And the CCP, well, it wasn't necessarily my favorite gun. At least it functioned. So, like I said, you win some, you lose some. Knuckles said that he got a new extractor and it did the trick. And I think I told you to get the new extractor. I don't know. Maybe I did. Who knows? I'll take credit for it, though. Yeah, and you're right. You shouldn't have had that problem, and you should have been able to fix it and rectify it a lot sooner. But I'm glad it's working out because it's a fantastic gun. No, not a 30-day wait. It's whenever they get it back. So it could be, it could be 5 days. It could be 35 days. Just depends on when the judge signs it. All right, so we're becoming a little bit over an hour, so we've taken this a little bit. So Art puts up a question, so I'm going to answer this question. It says here, what do I think of Yankee Marshall and how much he divides the YouTube 2A community? Is he a dick just for clicks? Look, I've said it and I'll say it again. When you spend more of your videos saying I, me, and I than anything else, I think you got to take that with a grain of salt. And I think sometimes when, when you watch some of that stuff, and look, he makes some good points and he does some good things, I would never say he doesn't. But I don't find him to be at all entertaining. I don't find him to be at all a decent person. And the reason why I say that is because he's always going after somebody who he doesn't like for whatever reason. And then he says that he's just here to unite the 2A community, but you unite it by doing what? I mean, you can unite, but the way I look at it is a guy like him for me is more of a cancer than anything else. He's one of those guys who looks at you in the face and says, I'm here to unite everybody. And then when you turn your back, he takes a big old shit on you. And I don't like people like that. Like, I don't like people like that. If you have a problem with somebody, you go to them directly, you man up and you discuss that problem. You don't hash it out on the internet. You don't make a video on it without doing your due diligence and having that conversation first. And I've experienced that. And I'm just going to say, if anybody has a problem with me, you can email me. We'll hook up via phone or whatever you want to do, and we'll discuss what our differences are. And at the end of the day, we may not agree. We may agree. We may come to some sort of, consensus as to what's what. But at the end of the day, we're at least handling our business like men, or adults. And unfortunately, I don't see that. I think he's a lot of hype, and I think he likes to divide, and he gets off on it. And I'm not a part of that, man. I'm just not a part of that. I don't give a shit about that stuff. You know what? You don't like me. That's fine. My life's going to go on. I never, ever, and will never define myself by YouTube or what I do here. To me, this is just fun, and it's a lot of fun doing it. I love the conversations with people. And sometimes people get pissed and they say nasty things, and that's why you have the ban button. And that's what I do. I'm not going to lie to you. But at the same time, what's the point? You have a platform where you have thousands upon thousands of subs. And, you do nothing with that except for always tout how wonderful you are and how much you do and how I and me and me and I. And at the end of the day, like, what do you really do? Like, what do you really do? But that's just mine, and that's how I feel about it, man. And I have no problem saying it, and there's people who won't, people who are afraid and, they're going to get called out. Like, what is a guy like Yankee Marshall going to do to me? Look, seriously, I'm 45 years old. I feel like I've established myself in life. I know what I do. I know what I can't do. And a guy like that, what is he going to do? Call me a name, say that I'm a whatever the hell he calls people and all that stuff. Oh, it hurts my feelings. No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt my feelings, guys. Yeah, and Channel Cat brings up a great point. I've never banned him for writing me. That's because I kind of like you, man. That's why. And sometimes we argue, but that's part of it. I don't say drawer. I say draw. A lot of people give me shit for that, but I say draw. Let's see. Yeah, I saw that nonsense. It's like ridiculous, I can't be bothered with it. And he barred you because you disagreed with him. What a shocker. I don't care if people disagree with me. I just don't want to be insulted by people, Like, you guys don't know me. I always look at it from this standpoint. Would the person insulting me on YouTube sit there in my face and insult me personally? Probably not, So it's easy to do this here. All right, guys. So it is now, what time is it? It's 9:17. We've been on for an hour and 18 minutes. I just want to say a couple things. I appreciate you guys for coming out tonight again on our Into the Week. Try to make this a weekly thing. We'll see how it plays out with football season coming up. But I hope you guys, are doing well. I hope you have a great weekend. You've got one day left before you actually, excuse me, I just burped, after you go back to the work week. So hopefully it'll be a great productive week for everybody. And, just keep on doing what you guys do. And thank you for supporting the channel. And keep watching these because these are awesome. And Downtrod's saying I should buy a house out of state and buy a gun there as a dual resident. Gosh, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know about that. I don't know. It would have to be a residency thing. So you'd have to have a license for that state and your home state. At least I would think so. Because I have a Pennsylvania license, but I'd have to live in PA or have a residence in PA to buy something there. At least I think so. But I wouldn't be able to reciprocate it here, if that makes sense. All right, guys. So, I just wanted to mention one last thing as everybody's clearing out. So I decided to do something, and I'm not sure if I want to do it. And I want your feedback on this. And be honest, because it's not going to hurt my feelings. But a lot of people were saying in past chats that I should do a Patreon thing. I'm not really going to do that. I haven't really felt like the need for that. However, I'm just as a test going to be doing something called Subscribe Star. I want to test it out. I want to see what people are going to do. And I want you guys to tell me if it's worth it or not. And I'll listen. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's something I feel comfortable doing, but I want to see. I've seen other people doing it, and they're able to be successful with it. And I'd like to see the channel grow as much as possible and be able to, do some things. But I don't know how I feel about it. So it's there. It's up there. Subscribe star 1776 Robust. Take a look at it. If you're interested, great. If not, tell me why. Tell me I'm an asshole. I don't care. But I'd love to hear your feedback, because your feedback is more important than anything else to me in regards to where this channel goes. So other than that, guys, have a great night. Stay safe. And as always, everyone, freedom is never free.